For this tutorial, I want to go over my steps for treating a computer that's just running poorly. And again, this is really designed for XP. If your computer's taking a really long time to boot up, programs are running slow, maybe video playback is skipping, just poor performance all around. And this, I'm just going to show you the steps that I take, my usual routine for trying to clean that kind of a situation up. When there's no real problem that's evident, it's just the whole thing's kind of just running poorly. The first thing I want to do is, if you have a major problem, suddenly you're seeing, it was working perfectly yesterday and today it's not, I would suggest doing a system restore. If you know that yesterday it worked and today it doesn't, try doing a system restore. And I just want to do that real quick as a sort of a side note. That's your first step if something drastically different is happening. Generally, though, for cleaning up the situation, you want to look, if your computer's booting up and it looks something like this window here, and you have all these programs running just on startup, that right there is why your computer's taking a very long time to boot up, and is also responsible for just the poor performance of a computer, because all of those programs are running in the background waiting to do anything. And they're taking up memory, they're taking up processing power. There's no reason for any of this stuff to be loaded when you boot up. Your computer should look something more like this, which is basically I have my antivirus software and I have my sound and I have my clock. If I scoot over, I have the video card, and then you have this icon, which is just telling you that there's USB disks or anything like that attached to the computer. It's basic, and that's really what you should have. You should not have a lot down there. You don't need programs to start up as soon as you start the computer. There's no reason for it. So if you do have things that are loading down there, everyone who installs Skype seems to just leave it there so that when the computer starts up, you have Skype. People just seem to leave it that as soon as you start your computer, Skype is running in the background ready to go. When 9 out of 10 times you really don't want it to be doing that, you don't need it to be doing that. So if you have a lot of stuff opening on the bottom, start by going to the programs that it's associated with. And a lot of times it's going to be under Tools, Options, and you're going to see things like Start Skype when I start Windows. You're going to see that on a lot of programs. I've seen people have Microsoft Messenger running, Yahoo Messenger, this, that, and the other thing. There's no reason for all them. So go into the programs, go under Tools and Options, and tell it not to start when the computer starts up. It's not necessary. It doesn't take that long that if you want to use Skype, you click or you go and you load Skype. You don't need it there the second you start your computer, because all of that is eating into the time it takes for the computer to start up. Now the other thing you want to do is you want to also see what else is running when you start your computer. For that, you're going to go Start, Run, and you're going to type msconfig. You're going to get a screen that looks like this. Now you want to go to Startup, and it's going to show you these are the things that are set to start whenever the computer first boots up. And you want to unclick anything that just seems like it's a standard program. If you don't know what it means, you can Google it. Generally speaking, you want anything associated with sound, with video, and with antivirus software to be booting up as soon as it starts. If you're not sure what it is, don't mess with it, leave it alone. It's going to tell you that you must restart to have the changes take effect, and then you can restart your computer. When you restart, it's going to give you a little message saying that you made some changes. You just OK through that, or tell it not to tell you again, and you can move on. So immediately we've gotten rid of things that are running on the computer when we first start up, and we don't need them to be, because they're just slowing down everything and eating away memory and processor power. Okay, another thing I look for, I go to the internet, whether it's Internet Explorer or Firefox or anything else you're using. If you have things like Bing Toolbar, Yahoo Toolbar, Google Chrome Toolbar, whatever, uninstall that nonsense, get rid of them. I know there's some people who are going to be mad and who like that kind of stuff. That's just eating away processing power and memory when you're trying to look through the internet. It's a complete waste. Just go to Google and look up what you're looking up. You don't need Yahoo Toolbar to do that. So uninstall those types of things and never install them to begin with. It makes life easier. Now I am going to recommend a program which I've never done, but I am going to recommend CCleaner. And it is a free software and that I've been using for over a decade now, and it is just a fantastic program. You just Google search CCleaner. It's one of the first things you get. Just go to download and go to either one of these and just get the free edition. You can go further if you really want to. I recommend it. It's a great software, and again, it's free. You're going to open it, you're going to say analyze, and it's going to run through a scan, and it's going to tell you all of the stuff that's on your computer that you can get rid of. It's going to go through, it's going to find temporary files. Well, you can look, old prefetch data. That's stuff that Windows thinks it should load because you tend to use software a lot, so it tries to load that stuff in the background while it's booting up. Hotfix uninstallers, that's when Windows updates your computer, it leaves stuff on your computer, and you're going to get a whole list of stuff that it can delete, and that's just hard drive space and gets rid of all that nonsense you don't actually need. It's fantastic. Registry part of it, run that through. I do this maybe once every week or two. It just, things change on the computers where you have updates and stuff, and it leaves things wrong with your registry. You don't have to know how a registry works or what it all means. You just need to know that when you go to the registry portion, scan for issues, fix the issues. I had 98 just today, and I maintain this computer. Fix it, clean it, it's done. All you need to know that it just did something really good. Tools. This is just going to uninstall stuff. You can look for software and programs you don't need. I always recommend if you don't need something, just get rid of it. And just leave it there to collect dust and use up hard drive space. Startup is a big one. Startup is the exact same thing as msconfig. If you have CCleaner, I'd recommend just using this instead of msconfig. It's just a little bit easier. But it's the same situation, it's the same text, same writing. So if you don't know what something is, again, I suggest just look it up. Just Google search it, what that program actually is and whether or not you need it to start when you boot up your computer. And if you see something that really shouldn't be running, this is all essential to my computer, so I can't get rid of anything right now. But if you see something that shouldn't be running, click it, either disable it or delete it, either or, and that's going to help the computer a whole lot. So that's pretty much for CCleaner. So that's a program I recommend. I go through that all the time. I fix up people who tell me the computer's running bad. I start with that. Another thing I like to do, and some people never really do this, go to your C drive, right click, properties, do a disk cleanup. Go through it, because it's going to find what CCleaner does, disk cleanup does too. However, disk cleanup also finds old files that the computer can then compress. So it finds stuff that you just haven't used in a long time, it's really old, but it's essential, and it will compress that file and it will give you a lot more free space. It'll just free up a lot more space on your hard drive, and that's something CCleaner doesn't do, so I recommend disk cleanup, going through that. Another location for wasted space on a computer is C drive, documents and settings, your username. That's me right here. You will have to go to Tools, Folder Options, View, and Show Hidden Files to do this. You want to go to Local Settings, and you want to go to Temp. This tends to fill up with just junk temporary files. Delete it all. You may come across something that won't allow it to be deleted because it's either in use or for other reasons. Just delete everything else but that then. Your disk cleanup, your CCleaner, nothing else will find this folder and delete all this, and all this is just junk files that just takes up room on your computer. It's completely unnecessary stuff. So you want to get rid of that too. It frees up space. Another program I want to recommend is called Ultimate Defrag. The best way to find this one is Google search Ultimate Defrag free. You want to do the free version of it, and you'll probably come to one of these download pages, CNET I Trust, and you want to get the freeware edition. And I recommend this program completely. Just like CCleaner, it is fantastic for defragging your computer, defragging your hard drives. you'll run and analyze, and you'll look, and then red is bad. Right now this computer actually needs to be defragged a little bit because you have a lot of red. And just run it and let it clean it up and get rid of all the red, and just make the computer run faster. Just Windows defrag is okay, but this one does more than fixes fragmented files. This one actually consolidates things. It moves stuff out of the way. It makes larger areas of free space rather than leaving little blocks of free space. It puts more common used files towards the faster access area of the hard drive. It's all around a fantastic program, and it's free, and I recommend running that instead of Windows defrag. And last but not least, I don't think you can do it with AVG, but with Avast antivirus, I like to do a boot time scan. Click it. Normal's fine unless you suspect there's a problem. And let the computer scan for issues as far as viruses and malware and spyware. Let it do that before the computer even boots up where Windows is running. It just lets it access more, and it's a more thorough scan, and I really think that it's a lot better than running it while Windows is running, because then a program is more likely to be able to hide itself. As far as AVG, whether or not it can do a boot scan, I've read some of them can, some of them can't version-wise. If it can't, then I guess just do it during Windows or switch to Avast. And that there is really my whole sort of regimen as far as fixing up a computer that's just, acting really poorly, bad performance, slow, skipping and playing audio or video, even if you're watch something on YouTube and it's suddenly playing real slow. This is the sort of run through that I like to do, and I hope it helps you too, and I'll see you next time.